One.
Hi, everyone. My name is Shelley Nye. I'm the director of the Valley Forge Family History Center. My husband and I are the area trainers for the greater Philadelphia area to help people learn how to use FamilySearch.org. Today, we're going to talk about adding photographs. Photography has a great power to capture the good. It can show the light and life of people's lives. Matthew 5:16 says, "Let your light so shine before men that others may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven." As we think about who has influenced our lives for good, we can feel inspired to radiate the light of Christ in our own lives and let it shine through our eyes. The memories of positive experiences can be brought to our minds through pictures. I love to see photographs that touch my heart and capture the good in the world. Sometimes it's a laugh, a smile, or maybe it's one that helps me feel compassion for the life experiences of others and the courage that they have used in their lives. The expressions of straight-faced people in old photographs make us wonder, what kinds of lives did they lead? Actually, prior to 1900, smiles in formal portraits sent a message that you may not be a stable or reliable person. In 1900, the Brownie camera made photography accessible and economical for many people. Spontaneous, happy faces became more and more preferred as amateur photographers wanted to capture a moment in time. Mark, show us how this is done.
Okay, I'm happy to do that. Welcome, everyone. As Shelley mentioned, our topic today is photos bring family members to life. So today we want to demonstrate how to best share your family photographs in Family Search in order to achieve the greatest benefit. I first want to take you to a couple of slides to illustrate a point, and then I'll be demonstrating live on Family Search. Shelley, can you see my screen?
Yes.
So today we're talking about achieving greatest benefits in what you post. These are a couple of examples of pictures that I pulled off of Family Search off of someone's page. And as I say at the top, photos don't speak for themselves. These photographs were posted without any information. We don't know who these people are, when the photo was taken, where it was taken, or anything about a story behind them. Unfortunately, the person who posted these left us with these open-ended questions. So we want to talk about properly titling and tagging photographs today. As I prepare to do that, I'd like to share with you some rules that Family Search has in place for uploading memories. First, you should know that all images before they are made public are screened by Family Search, photos or documents. They have some standards that they want to apply, and so this is what they're looking for. They want to make sure that what we post is appropriate. Photographs should support appropriate standards of modesty and virtue. They should be relevant. They should support a family history purpose. Heart-turning, you've heard that phrase before. These photographs should help people know and love their ancestors. Non-commercial, this is important to remember that they should not advertise or promote products or infringe on intellectual property rights. And lastly, privacy. We should always use caution when including items about living people. Now that we've reviewed those rules, I would now like to take you to Family Search directly and share with you my screen. This is the person page for Shelley's uncle, one of her uncles, Asel J. Walker. He was the oldest in his family, and though he was a funny guy, he always had the respect and love of his extended family. You were familiar with the details page for individuals, and we want to go now across from the details, from the left to the right, to his memories tab. I'm going to click on memories, and as you see here, there are several photographs on his page. There are some documents, and then there is space for stories or audio where none have been added yet. So we want to talk about photos today. You'll see that among this assortment, there are some that are titled with information that tells us who's in the picture, perhaps where they are, and a date. That is different than these other two on the left, Meta Walker and Senior Year. In my opinion, those are not properly titled or perhaps tagged. Let's talk about this one here, Senior Year. This is a picture of Ace Walker, but it doesn't tell me that. So it's just kind of an assumption I have to make that because it's on his page, it's him. How much better it would be if it said Acel J. Walker, senior year of high school, and gave a year. Then it would be immediately understandable who this is. Today I want to use the uploading photograph process to demonstrate how to do this correctly. So I'm going to click on Upload Photograph. It takes me to my computer desktop actually, and I'm going to upload this picture with Acel J. Walker. I click on that and then click Open. You'll see the screen will circle for a minute as it prepares to upload this photo. Any photo that I add is immediately put to the upper left of this dimension. You'll see it says unprocessed with an exclamation mark indicating it's still being processed. I can still proceed though with the actions I want to take while that's doing that. So I hover my mouse over the box and you'll see a pointing finger. I will click that, which will then take me to the screen where this picture has now been uploaded. I'm still on Acel J. Walker's page, but now in Memories. This bar across the middle says that I need to tag the image of Acel J. Walker. Well, that has been immediately done already, and I need to just click on his name in the upper right where it says click the image to tag people. It gives me an edit or delete tag. When I click on edit tag, it shows me how this photograph has been tagged. You'll see this white line that goes around the edge of the photograph with a green circle handle at the bottom. I want to resize that because I want to focus the tag specifically on Ace. So I just click and drag my box from that little green circle and then reposition the box around Ace, and I can make it what size I want to. So now instead of the whole picture being tagged, just Ace is. The importance of doing that is to get his tag properly sized, because if there are other photographs where others are to be tagged, they don't get lost behind the big tag. So once I've resized that, I will click Save, the blue button. And now my next step will be to add a title to this. The title that I've chosen, and now I'm able to type, is Acel Walker with watchmaker glasses in Vernal, Utah, 1956. So it tells me who he is, a little bit about the picture, and that it's taken in Vernal, Utah in 1956. Those are some key factors I like to use in my titles. I will then click Save. Because I'm the person who added this photo, I also have the option to edit that title in case I've noticed I misspelled something or I want to change it at some point. No other person is able to edit this title because I'm the one that added it. If I look at actions right underneath the title and click on that down arrow, it tells me that I have the option to rotate the photo if it happened to upload sideways. I could download that, or any other viewer could download that to put on their own computer. I can add it to an album, or I could delete it if I realized, hey, I didn't mean to upload that photo to Ace's page, so I could delete it. Those actions are available to me. On the right-hand side, you will see under Details, there are options for me to add some additional information, an event date, which if I knew that, I chose to put 1956 up in the title, so that's already shown. I could add a description, a place, or I could add it to an album. In this case, I want to identify the location, the event place, and I will type, this is taken in the backyard of the Dawn Walker home in Vernal, Utah. That just gives me a little better description of where it is. It's not a standardized place, but some additional information for me to keep. I will click on Save. And then the event description, I do want to say a little bit more about Ace. Ace worked for ZCMI department store in Salt Lake City, Utah, in their watch repair department. These glasses magnified the details for his work. So that provides a little description. I know when I first looked at the photograph, I thought he had some funny Halloween glasses on, but Shelley explained to me what they were. So we want to capture that here in this memory. So now I've properly identified, I've tagged Ace, and now I'm going to click in the upper left-hand corner, Acel J. Walker, and go back to his memories page. You will now see that the photograph is there in the upper left, Acel J. Walker with watchmaker glasses in Vernal, and of course it can't capture the full title, but if I click on it, it will show me the full title, and I can go back to that page. So that's an example of titling and tagging a photo with one individual. I now want to do a second example by adding another photograph. So I click Upload, select my photograph, click Open. Again, it'll take a second, and then we'll pop up a new box on the left-hand side, Unprocessed. We're familiar with that. I will click on that box, and it will bring me to this page, which is now a picture of his mother and his brother. You'll see it's upside down, so I better fix that. So I'm going to rotate left. Take a second here. And then I'm going to rotate left one more time. I usually find that my photographs upload correctly, but occasionally if they don't, that's why we're happy to have that one button there. In this case, it comes up with a full tag for Acel J. You'll remember that if I click Edit Tag, it's tagged the whole picture as if it were him. I'm going to resize this tag as I did before, so I can just place that box around him, and I will click Save. Now there are two other people in this photograph. This one is his mother, and it asks me, who is this? So because I know it's his mother, I want to type in the name that we know her by in Family Search, which is Charlotta Geneva Wynn. There she is. She comes up second. It starts to recognize my name. So I will click on that, and then you will see in the upper right-hand corner, she has now been added to the people tagged in the photo. If I hover over their names, you'll see a box that appears that shows who it is that's tagged. The last person I want to tag is Shelley's father, Don Clifford. There it comes up, Don Clifford Walker. It adds him to the list in the upper right-hand corner, and now I can see my three tags. So it emphasizes again why I don't want that full big size tag that it starts with. I edit the tag for the first person added. I want to add a title here, which we've chosen to say Charlotte Geneva Wynn with two sons, Acel and Don, in Vernal, Utah, 1956. And I will click Save. Again, I have the option to edit that if I choose to. So I'm going to go back to Acel's page by clicking in the upper left, and now you see these two photographs with their proper titles there. If I hover, I can see the full title. So that's the process for adding, uploading photographs and properly tagging and titling them.
Mark, can I make actually an additional note right there?
Sure.
So you've added those to ASOL's page, but as soon as you tag that individual, it also then added that photo to my grandma's page and to my dad's page. So if I were to look on their memories,
Let me just go there. So I
yeah,
went to,
it's a cool feature. You only have to find that photo once, and then you have that great opportunity of adding it to everyone's page just by adding the tag. So there it is, right there, that same photo that was just added.
very good. Thank you, Shelley. All of the photos that I add are held in the memories section of Family Search. You'll see up at the very top, I'm hovering over memories, and I'm going to click on that, and it gives me an option to go to what they call the gallery. As I click on gallery, it'll take a little bit a few seconds for this to populate because it's capturing all the memories I've added over time. And it's been quite a few. So I can see all of them in the upper left. I can click on the camera and it'll bring up the photographs I've added, the stories I've added, documents I've added, or any audio. So it's an easy way to filter them. So it's now brought up all of the photographs in date order. Newest added is the sort order here. I could change that to something else, but I've added, selected newest added. So you see these two photos in the upper left are the ones that I've just added. It's just a collection by date order that I've added these. I do have the option, you may recall me indicating before, that I can place my photos in albums. So if I click on the Walker family album, you'll see photos I've added there. I did not in my demonstration here this morning place those two photographs, the new ones, in the Walker family, but if I did, they would show in this Walker family album. I'm going to go back to all albums up here at the top, camera, and I want to tell you that if I wanted to add those families directly into a folder before adding them to a page, I would simply have to click on this green plus mark in the middle of the page. And if I do, it reminds me that all photographs need to be appropriate. And then in this space, I could just drag and drop from my computer the files that I want to add, or I could click on choose files and then individually select them that way. It supports a number of file types. You want to pay attention to that, but most people take photographs with PNG or JPEG files. But I wanted to just show you that all of your photos are collected in this gallery, and then you can also organize them by albums. I hope that's clear for you. I'm now going to stop sharing my screen and take you back to my PowerPoint slides and pick up where I left off. As I do that, I want to emphasize 2 or 3 points about doing this in an effective way. I had an experience a few months ago that I want to share with you. I break it up into 3 parts in order to make the 3 points that I want to. It starts out with an email that I received from a person by the name of Jennifer, and I've removed her last name, and she said, pics of 45th wedding anniversary of Shales is Gladys Scholl's family, not Keith's line. She sent it from her iPhone. I had no idea who this person was, this Jennifer person. I didn't recognize the name. Her message was a little cryptic, and she didn't give me the number in Family Search as to who she's talking about. I assumed 45th wedding anniversary of Shields was a title of some picture there, but I was pretty much in the dark. But again, because I'm an active user of Family Search, I put my little search hat on and began to look for what she may even be talking about. And in my gallery, I found this photograph. You'll see handwritten right above the photograph some wording that I've just in essence copied in the title of this photograph. Herman and Minnie Shale, 45th wedding anniversary, 1959. So I assume this is the photograph that Jennifer is referring to. but I wasn't clear on her question. Was she saying that this doesn't belong on this person's page, or why is Keith, whoever that is, included in the reference? So as I looked at my details of this photograph, I called out here for my demonstration here that Keith and Gladys, whose maiden name was Shale, their married name is Scholl, Keith and Gladys Scholl, are in this photograph. They're standing together, they're husband and wife. Gladys and Keith are the son-in-law and daughter of Herman and Minnie Shale, who are sitting at the table. It's their anniversary that's being celebrated. So Herman and Minnie are the main parties, and Gladys, their daughter, is married to Keith Scholl. Interesting that their names are so similar, Shale and Scholl, and even Minnie's last name was Shimmer. But I wrote back to this Jennifer person and said, this is why it's on this page. This is how these people are related. I called out the tagging of the slide there to show that each of them were tagged in the photograph, which, as Shelley mentioned, means that this photograph shows on every one of their pages. I again wrote back to Jennifer and explained this to her, and she says, oh yes, I did notice that later, meaning the title and the tags, and she made the connection, which was helpful, so that was good. And then she added, are you by chance the son of Beverly and Roy? Well, I still don't know who this person is that's writing me, but I did answer yes, because that is my mom and my dad. And she answered me back, oh my gosh, do you remember my family? Susie, George, Jenny, and Scott from Grand Island, Nebraska. We came to visit you in 1971 and 1972. Well, with that, I remembered who these people were. My mom's best friend was Susie. So these names started to make sense to me. Well, it just so happened that it must have been within a week or two before this exchange. Shelley and I were going through our old photographs, and I found two photographs that had me in the circle and this Jennifer lady in the right circle. We're standing in the top one with our fathers and a sibling, and at the bottom is in that 1972 visit to Dallas. Jen's sitting on the couch and I'm on the floor. Their family came to visit us. So I shared those photographs back with Jen through email. She was thrilled to see them. And of course, it was great to rediscover these old friends from many years ago. And she then indicated that her and her mom were going to call my mom and reconnect. It was a fun experience. So that's the first part of my experience having to do with the importance of titling and tagging photographs and being able to then properly find them. The second part of this experience has to do with Shelley and I organizing and digitizing all our family photographs. You know, we've collected them from several different relatives, and we're actually uploading them in two different sites. Ones that include living people, we're uploading to a website called forever.com. Some of you may have heard of that. And then we're also uploading and tagging all photographs of deceased people to their respective pages in Family Tree. So a big project, but we're underway. As I was going through those photographs, I came across some photographs that had my Aunt Donna. That's my mom's sister. She's in the circle in these three paragraphs. But the other person with the square around their face, I didn't have any idea who they were. Well, I had uploaded these photographs to my Aunt Donna's page, who's now deceased, but I wanted to tag this other person if I could find out who they were. I was planning a trip to visit my mother and thought, my mom probably knows who this person is, so I'm going to ask her. So we opened up the photographs and looked at them, and with my mom's help, we identified the lady in the squares as Joanne Lassen. She was best friends with my Aunt Donna in the circle, and my mother also remembered Joanne's mother in the triangle, Mrs. Lassen. So now I know the names of people in these photographs. So I actively involved someone else, my mother who's getting older, in identifying some people that I did not know, something I highly recommend to everyone. Engage people who are still living to identify who's in these old photographs. So as I moved to the third part of my experience, I came home from my mom's place and I went on Family Search and actually found both Joanne and her parents already in Family Tree. So I knew I could go to my Aunt Donna's page where I had tagged her in these photographs and now add these additional individuals and tag them. So these photographs would show up on their page as well as we previously demonstrated. As I went to Mrs. Lassen's page to make sure the photos uploaded correctly, I found 2 photographs there already posted on her page, and my Aunt Donna was in those photographs. I've circled her there, but she was not tagged. And so these photographs were not showing up on my Aunt Donna's page. I needed to correct that. If you look at what is posted on Mrs. Lassen's page, there are the photographs, only she was tagged in the square, no one else was tagged. And the titles are fairly vague. Bonneville Dam on the one on the left, Vista House, Columbia River Gorge, but it doesn't say anything about who's in the picture, why they were there, when they were there, and just again, an illustration that there is an opportunity to improve the way we tag and title our photographs so that they can be appreciated by others and on other people's pages. Just as a quick review here and a summary of my story, as I looked at who posted these photographs on Mrs. Lassen's page, it was none other than my out of the blue friend Jennifer, believe it or not. So I documented here the connection between Jennifer and me. It starts with Jennifer's mother, Susie, and she is the best childhood friend of my mother. She's also the first cousin to Joanne Lassen. And Joanne Lassen was best friends with my Aunt Donna, my mother's sister. So a very small circle, actually. But together with my mother and Jennifer's help, we were able to broaden the view of these cherished family photographs. I want to quickly summarize now the tips for achieving the greatest benefit of posting photographs. Number 1, whenever you're communicating with others about family history and family tree, always refer to the full names and identification numbers of individuals. That'll help a lot. That keeps you from guessing. Always remember to title your memories with a who, where, and when. Tag as many deceased individuals as possible in all your photographs. Then lastly, as I did with my mother, reach out and connect with others who may know individuals who are in the memories that you post, the people that you don't know. Somebody else may know them. Remember, only the individual posting the memory can title it and edit it. Others, however, can tag additional people in the photograph and comment about the photograph below the memory, and then you'll be notified when other people do that. I'm going to stop sharing here and conclude before I turn the time back over to Shelley. I want to say that I hope this demonstration, my stories and the tips will help each of you make the posting of your family photographs as valuable as possible on Family Search. Doing so will help bring joy and positive memories to everyone who views them. Back to you, Shelley.
Hi, I hope that you have collected your photos from your boxes and from your albums and have selected some or all of them that you can upload to FamilySearch.org. It is our invitation for you to do so, but not only just for yourself and a great opportunity to look through an afternoon of memories, but so that future generations may know who these people are. Make sure you title them and tag them so not only do they know who they are, but they know everything that you remember, the time, the place, the date, any kinds of descriptions. Adding your own photos to your own page is also a great way to tell your own story. They will be private until you die, but it is your opportunity to tell your story about your own life in the way that you want it to be shared with the future. Our next session will be about adding record hints and documenting more details about your relatives' lives. See you then.
Bye.